Yo guys, namaskaram. So back again with another video. Had been caught up. This time had a very weird problem wherein a guy loves playing with his dick in the night and then talks openly about courage the next day among his friends. So this has created a sort of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance basically means a gap between your perceived reality and your actual reality. I reached out, started talking that this is the problem, like because all of these issues have consequences wherein you'll play a lot with your self-esteem in the long run. Then there were like some discussions, and I thought, okay, let us just help you give some nuggets of wisdom because writing a whole script, which I used to do earlier in my videos, takes a lot of time. Sometimes it's better to have these impromptu videos. Anyhow, so first, let us just understand a basic thing that I'm sure a lot of you might be struggling with. Your goals, it's already been a month. Life has already been in that auto default mode as to how you were the previous year, and then you just keep on abusing yourself. So fundamentally, I was watching a reel wherein a guy mentioned that there are like three fundamental parameters to change. One is on your habitual level, one is the mindset level, and one is the identity level. All of these three things are changing together as a holistic system. Because see what happens, let's say you wanted to start a new project, a new endeavor, you jumped into it with a sort of motivation, but then after like the initial motivation dies down, you give up because your mindset is not acclimatized to those type of habits. You started changing that specific pattern because of some external metric. You might have seen a reel, someone might have instilled a certain emotion within you to make you act for their own little crony benefit. These behaviors just last for a couple of days and then you're back to square one. So, whenever we are changing any habit, the most fundamental thing that comes with it is also changing your mindset in that process. That why is it that you want to do that specific thing? And it should be something that is very intrinsic because, see, if you are taking on any project, any challenges from an external metric, you would give up when the going gets even a little bit hard. And there's no thing on this world wherein if you have to become a master or reasonably good at it, it requires that you at least pass that initial boredom stage and keep on like moving forward with a sort of positive momentum. And how does that happen? When you see yourself as the final product, this is where that identity sort of thing comes in. That let's say you want to have a very shredded body, a very lean and fit body, or you want to be a musician, you want to be a writer, anything of that sort. You need to fundamentally believe to the point that others will call you insane that I will become like this. Once your identity is locked in, all these other things would start taking care of themselves. Usually, I've seen that we go in a reverse pattern, but that is why I keep on saying that just focus on deepening your why as to why is it that you want to do that specific thing. Anyhow, this is just getting the basics out of the way. Some problems which I also see that we are so desperate because of certain hormones that are going within us right this second that some partner might come in our life. Please understand that one relationship is all it takes to ruin your life. I'm not saying this from the perspective of you not entering into these dating sphere, but the point is that until and unless you have a sort of stability in life wherein you know that now even if this relationship does not work out, it wouldn't hurt me, it wouldn't create an impact that is very detrimental to my life. What happens usually is that when people are 19, 20, they go into these relationships. Let's say it goes for a year or two, certain breakups, and then I've seen a lot of people who are not able to just come back in life with a positive attitude, and the time just keeps on running and running. Of course, there are no perfect timelines, but see the impact you'll have of a relationship at 18, 19 with the heart broken, to recover from all of that, essentially you are letting go of the time that can be invested into building skills. And nature has made us in a certain way that there's like a certain window wherein our brains and bodies are the most receptive for certain skills. Over time, as we age, we have to keep on fighting aging, the slow processing of a brain, and a lot of other factors come in. Maybe the conditions in your family become more hard as you progress in life. So I think that's just a certain perspective that what should be the right time of a relationship. Of course, if you've found the right people, then that just does not matter, because you know that things work on a fundamental level. But in general, these are like just general patterns which are seen across the board. And I think a greatest crime, I had written this yesterday, is that we rob ourselves of a potential of living from the highest potential each and every day. We rob ourselves each day from that due to certain choices that we indulge in and day out, certain patterns which we are unable to break. Why? Because fundamentally we believe that we are destined for ruin. That isn't the case, because once you have a fundamental identity going on for you, that yeah, this is the type of person I would want to become, naturally actions would follow. Which brings me to one more important thing. We think that it's okay, we have this identity, we want to do these 10, 20 things in life. What happens is we start jumping into all of those 10 and 20 things at the same time. That is not how your brain works. It's better to just master one skill at a time, and then once you start that skill, keep on stacking more skills on top of it. Because see, a skill in fundamental contains a lot of sub skills, and those sub skills contain a lot of other sub skills which are very important, wherein, like, the differentiation, this differentiation happens between a master and a complete beginner. The master just keeps on taking care of the nuances and perfecting them, whereas the beginner just has this loud trumpet in his mouth. He talks, shows to the whole world, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But essentially, on a grand level scale of things, his life just does not move forward by an inch. So we don't want to be chasing 100, 200 rabbits at once. It's better to chase one rabbit, build a certain sort of competence on that, and then slowly keep on stacking skills. That's why this preciousness of life, I say, it's very limited. You think we have these endless days. I can go run behind any idiot girl or any idiot boy for that matter. It wouldn't come back at me. Everything comes back at you. It's just that you pay the cost of your ignorance, the decisions taken in your ignorance with your life. Now, if you don't value your life too much, then it doesn't matter. Just throw it in the dumps. But whenever I ask any person that what is it they want to do, they have these big dreams and ambitions, but somehow they're just robbing themselves from that specific thing. And I think there's also this thing I've seen quite lately. So lately I've been like seeing a lot of reels, fitness reels. The boomer uncles of our society, uh, you know, they're like 35, 40 with 10 different diseases, diabetes, insulin problems, sugar problems, whatnot. And then they just keep on cribbing their entire life. Oh, life has done so bad to me. You see these tendencies within people in their 20s as well. Uh, People who would become eventually boomer uncles get into relationships, useless marriages, beat the hell out of their wives, or just get bullied by their wives, because usually there's like a whole ecosystem around it. I don't want to go in a lot of details around it, but see, fundamentally, the difference which I usually see is that people, let's say people who are outside the country, people who are, let's say, non-Indians, they have these 10 diseases, but still they are making these choices to go into their fitness levels, like fix their life no matter what their age is. I saw one uncle, I think he was in his 82. He he's able to do 800 push-ups, and he said that he had battled like 15 injuries. He has a patch in his heart. So when I compare those people with our uncles, they just like to demotivate and downgrade your own sense of being because there's just no happiness within their own life. And the foundations of that start right this second. Let's say if you're young watching this video, let's say even if you're in your 30s, early 30s, late 20s, the choices that you make right now, the foundation that you're making right now would stay with the rest of your life. Do you want to be a goody two nice shoes, always just living for society's approval, or just stand your ground when you know that it matters? Which then brings me, because when you like make these foundations in your life, you reward yourself with data points that yes, these are certain things that I can do in life, and then you create expectations within your mind. The beauty of life is it's a game. Once you understand systems, once you understand your own self, you just have to put yourself into certain systems for your own self, wherein you're just gamifying the entire process. And the more outputs you receive, the more you would want to excel, because then you'll have just more and more expectations from your life. So a lot of people, a lot of books talks about it, but there's a very brilliant person, Charlie Munger. There was this insight wherein he says that the first rule of a happy life is low expectations. If you have unrealistic expectations, you're going to be miserable your whole life. Let's understand the context. Why is he saying this? A minute before I stopped about having high expectations and going up the pedal. See, initially, whenever we want to start any fucking thing, the entry to it is having like these low expectations that okay, this is the bare minimum that I'll do. Once you meet those expectations through your own systems, automatically you'll just start having higher expectations as per like the common general audience. For them those would be high, but for you it would just be one or two steps above and above. So I think from that perspective, of course you can take it into other contexts, but from the context of this video, I think this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think a final piece of wisdom would be like, as I had mentioned in the start of this video, the game of life is just to actualize your potential, not living this dualistic life wherein it would just come to bite you at certain times. It's just about living in a way wherein you feel that you're integrated with your own personality. You don't space out for your weirdness. You're not mocked, let's say, among your close circles and things like that. And if you feel that you have that, people are mocking you, probably those are the wrong people. But I can just talk about it in the next video. But I think that was just like some insights which I wanted to share. And I just want to end this video with a quote from Lao Tzu, wherein he says that mastering others is strength, mastering yourself is true power. Gain power in life because no one asks a weak man about his well being or her well being. The world rewards power. It's important that you also become powerful in whatever way you can. And of course, you know the basics: right sleep, bringing in exercises to your routine, having like proper diet, not having a lot of outside, you can say, foods which just ruin your mood. I think we can just cover all of that in the upcoming videos. Anyhow, let me know what you feel about this video, and do keep writing your limitations. I just want to do these impromptu videos because writing sometimes is very taxing among all the other things that I keep on managing. If you feel like having a one-on-one conversation, consultation with me, feel free to book a call. And you stay awesome. Just use this comment section as a diary entry that what type of weaknesses have you broken in life. I'll catch you soon. Until then, you stay awesome. And this is Debashish Pendra from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers. Bye.